can you assure the world that as you try to get control of these areas, you are not going to use military or economic coercion?
No.
Donald Trump is engaged in a press conference at Mar-a-Lago, and we want to share a little bit of newsworthy stuff that he's just said, most specifically about, well, Greenland and the Panama Canal. Here's Donald Trump just moments ago.
To Greenland and the Panama Canal, so forth. Can you assure the world that as you try to get control of these areas, you are not going to use military or economic coercion?
No.
And can you tell us a little bit about what your plan is? Are you going to negotiate a new treaty? Are you going to ask the Canadians to hold a vote? What is the strategy?
Yeah, I can't assure you, you're talking about Panama and Greenland. No, I can't assure you on either of those two. But I can say this, we need them for economic security. The Panama Canal was built for our military. I'm not going to commit to that now. It might be that.
Greenland.
All right. I don't know if you could hear the reporter, but can you assure us that you won't utilize military or economic intervention with regards to Greenland and the Panama Canal? And he said, no, I won't assure you of that. It may be necessary, most specifically about Panama Canal. I don't think there's going to be any military intervention for Greenland. I think that's going to be an economic deal. And we'll get to the Greenland thing in a moment because it's a major story today. But on the Panama Canal, of course, I mean, China is there right now. Panama Canal is a military necessity for our Navy. It was necessary in World War II. It's necessary now. And if for some reason we can have control of the canal when we need it for our military, of course, we're going to intervene. Also newsworthy, for some reason, the conversation of the Gulf of Mexico came up. And check this out.
It's ours. We're going to be changing sort of the opposite of Biden, where he's closing everything up, essentially getting rid of $50 to $60 trillion worth of assets. We're going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which has a beautiful ring that covers a lot of territory. The Gulf of America, what a beautiful name. And it's appropriate. It's appropriate. And Mexico has to stop allowing millions of people to pour into our country. They can stop them. And we're going to put very serious tariffs on Mexico and
Canada. So there you go. We are, can we do that? Well, you said it's ours. I guess it is our territory. I mean, it's bordered by, there's part of the Gulf of Mexico borders Mexico, but most of the Gulf of Mexico borders Texas and Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida. And so we are now, this is like changing French fries to freedom fries. We are now changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. And I'm curious whether you agree with that. Are you down with that? Let us know in the comments if you think this is a good idea. It's gonna be, even if we try to do this. And I don't know, is this like an official proclamation? Does this require legislation? Or is it just going to be like a vernacular change? It's like as soon as we start calling, it's like when you, what did Zimbabwe used to be called something else when it was a British colony? But I think they officially changed their name, right? I mean, how do you change the name of a body of water? Is it just consensus? People just decide? I think we should change the name of the Ohio River, because let's face it, nobody really likes Ohio. We should call it the Michigan River. It should go to whoever wins the Michigan-Ohio State game. They can just change the name of the river depending on who wins. That would be a beautiful thing. Did you know that the original Michigan-Ohio State football game is a carryover of a war between Michigan and Ohio over the city of Toledo? I know. Who cares about Toledo? Michigan won that war, by the way. That's why Toledo was part of Ohio. Thank you very much. Anyway, that's the latest news from the press conference with Donald Trump. Before this press conference, his son, Donald Trump Jr., landed Trump Force One, where? In Greenland. I know you expected it to be a little more green. Is it true that the Vikings actually called Greenland, Greenland, and Iceland, Iceland because they were trying to fool people into thinking that the big chunk of ice was actually green, and that Iceland, which is actually green quite a bit of the time because it's more rainy than snowy there, similar to Ireland, that Iceland was actually greener than it is. Is that true that happened? I'm not sure, but that's what I was told when I was a kid. Anyway, there's Trump Force One with Donald Trump Jr. on board, landing at Greenland this morning. And in fact, he tweeted out or posted on X, the Everything app, a video from the cockpit. That would be a bobblehead of Donald Trump dressed in leather with a firearm and sunglasses. I might need to get one of those. And this is the approach from Trump Force One. Ever wondered what it looks like to be in the cockpit of Trump Force One, landing on a giant chunk of ice in the middle of the ocean? Look at it. It is beautiful, though, isn't it? I can't wait to vacation in the new American territory of Greenland during the summertime. They ain't going anywhere near there in January. What the hell were they thinking? But look how beautiful it is. It really is pristinely gorgeous, enriched with minerals, and strategically located to make it incredibly important as an asset for our economic needs and trade and for our military. And you got to love that. Here was Donald Trump Jr. arriving at the airport. All of this caught on video and posted on social media because Charlie Kirk, our pal Charlie Kirk from Turning Point, our colleague here at Salem Media, he's a radio host at Salem Radio Network. Charlie Kirk was on board and in tow for this junket to Greenland as Donald Trump Jr. arrived. And look at the assembled media. I mean, it's a big deal there at the airport. You know, I feel like this program that you're watching right now was one of the few that actually took this Greenland thing pretty seriously. I mean, we have fun with it. We think it's funny. We think it's cool. We think it's very Trumpian. But we laid out for you exactly the strategic, military, and economic interests that we have with Greenland. And it makes a lot of sense. And I saw earlier today, Sean Spicer, who was formerly part of the first Trump administration. He's a friend of this program. He's appeared on the show before, and I appear on. In fact, I'm appearing on Sean Spicer's show Thursday morning. Actually, he's got a great show on YouTube and Rumble, excuse me, and all the same platforms we're on right now. Sean Spicer said that apparently a part of the Trump State Department back in the first administration revealed to him recently that they were closer than anybody thinks in actually securing the deal for Greenland to become an American protectorate. There's a lot of geopolitics going on in this issue on the ground in Greenland, as they are part of the Danish kingdom, right? You talk about colonialism. The Kingdom of Denmark owns Greenland, but they have their own regional sort of government there with their own prime minister. But there's just so many decisions that they can make on their own. They are still part of the Kingdom of Denmark. And the people on the ground there don't like it, and they don't want to be part of Denmark anymore. Now, whether they want to be American or not, that's to be determined. But Donald Trump Jr. going there and making this diplomatic effort to try to maybe win hearts and minds in Greenland. I mean, it can't hurt. In fact, here he is showing up there at a restaurant with Greenlanders who seem pretty excited to see him. They're all wearing MAGA hats. Check it out. Oh, excuse me. This is actually Trump calling in on his phone, doing a FaceTime thing there. Can we hear him, though? I'm having trouble hearing it, but I'll shut up so maybe you can hear what Trump has to say to the people assembled there.
My son, and he's a real hunter, fisherman, fights and you love. And I thought it'd be great to go up there with his two very talented friends and the other group, a lot of other people. So I just want to say that it's a very special place. It needs security for itself, but it also needs security very much for the world. The location really, you see the people and the ships sailing around, and they're not the right ships, and they're not the ships you want to know about. So we need security, and our country needs it, and the whole world needs it.
Yes.
You're so strategically located.
Yeah.
So it's really imperative.
You're right.
I just want to thank everybody.
You guys like that, right?
You know, I just want to thank everybody.
You guys like that, right?
I just want to thank everybody.
You guys like that, right? learning a lot. It's been great. Actually, incredibly beautiful place. The people are incredible. The welcome was spectacular. It's pretty amazing.
Well, that's great. Well, you go have a good time, everybody, and we're going to treat you well. You know that. And just take care of yourselves. Thank you all very much.
See you soon.
Be good.
Thank you.
All right, there's Trump 4547 calling in to talk to the people of Greenland at this little assembly. I do love that they're all wearing MAGA hats. They should have gotten green ones, though, right? That would have been a good move. You heard him saying reiterating that Greenland is an important economic and strategic asset for our national security and for our economic security. And he also said that it's a great place for hunting, and Don Jr. is there. Maybe he's going to get some hunting in while he's there. I'm not sure. Understand something. And again, we sort of laid this out. You can check some of our video clips here on the channel where you're watching, because we laid out the strategic importance of this. You know, the passage from the Bering Straits and Anchorage and Juneau and the various ports that we've got in Alaska. If you go north of Canada and on this side of the Arctic Circle, over around to Greenland, that's a very good passage, actually, straight to Europe and to America's eastern seaboard. Right now, if you needed to make that passage, you'd have to go all the way up and around the Arctic Circle over north of Russia. Not a safer route at all. And by the way, Russia and China both have their designs on that area up there. They have a fleet of ice-breaking ships that break through the ice to make sure that they've got passage, not just for commerce and for cargo ships and tankers, but also for their military, for their aircraft carriers, for their destroyers, and for all of their naval ships. We need that too. It's critically important, not just for trade routes, but also for our military. And we can't have China over in Greenland sort of occupying that and being right in our back door, right? Charlie Kirk, as I mentioned, is there, and he was feeling the love from the Greenlanders.
Okay, we are here in Greenland with Don Jr.
Everyone wants to be on TikTok.
What do you guys think of America?
Great.
Love America, and you love Trump?
Yes, of course.
The youth of Greenland,
We're
Don.
hearing a lot of it, guys. We're hearing a lot of it.
And you guys all watch TikTok, right?
Of course. I'll follow you.
Oh, thank you. Live from Greenland.
All right, live from Greenland. They love Trump and they love America and they want to be a part of America. Elon Musk tweeted this out today after Donald Trump put out these pictures of himself landing in Greenland, saying how beautiful it is. Elon Musk said, if the people of Greenland want to be a part of America, which I hope they do, they would be most welcome. By the way, who knew that the Greenland flag looks like a Pokemon ball, right? What is that all about? I like that. You got to catch them all. That's the bottom line. It's what the people of Greenland want, right? What do the people of Greenland want? If the people of Greenland want to be a part of America, then great. We'll welcome them. It'll be a wonderful thing. And that sort of gives us the biggest news of the day. Not just Trump at his press conference talking about how he can't guarantee that we won't use some sort of economic or military intervention to ensure that Greenland and Panama, that's a big story. It is. And not Donald Trump Jr. going to Greenland and all of the scenes that we saw there. That's news. It really is. The biggest news actually related to Greenland comes from the Prime Minister of Denmark. The Prime Minister of Denmark said, as Donald Trump Jr. was landing in Greenland, said, Greenland belongs to the Greenlanders. It's not for sale. Okay. Well, no one's trying to buy it, ma'am. I'm guessing that's a woman. Mette Frederiksen. It's not about purchasing it. It's about the people of Greenland. I mean, I guess theoretically, if the king of Denmark wants to name a price, theoretically, the territory of Greenland could be sold. The prime minister is saying that it's not for sale. But you know what? I mean, we bought Alaska from Russia back in the day. So, there could be a price tag. But you know what? We agree with you. It's not for sale. There shouldn't be a cash transaction here. Let's let the people of Greenland decide, just as the prime minister said. See, Greenland belongs to the Greenlanders is a great slogan that America should embrace. We agree. Greenland belongs to the Greenlanders. This is a decision for the Greenlanders to make, because guess what? The Greenlanders do not want to be a part of the Danish kingdom anymore. Let them decide. No money, no cash transaction, no purchase. Let's just let the people of Greenland decide who they'd rather be a part of, if they want to be a part of anybody. I mean, I doubt they want full and complete and total independence, because that would require them to, spend money on a military to protect themselves, and a whole lot of infrastructure that they would have to pay for. A better solution, I would think, was that they become a protectorate or a territory of the United States, just like Puerto Rico or the Virgin Islands or Guam. You see, Guam is a really good analogous example of what Greenland could be. Guam is critically important to America strategically and militarily and economically because of where it is, the proximity is on the globe. Guam is an important place for us to be able to station our military there in terms of making sure that commerce and the economy continues to flow free from Asia. It keeps China in check or other countries in check that might want to blockade or disrupt the free flow of commerce coming from Asia across the Pacific to the to our hemisphere and to the United States and North America. But also militarily, if anything happens in Asia, well, we have assets there. We have the Navy in Guam. We have Marines in Guam. We have a whole lot of ability to be able to get to Guam, station, and actually be able to disrupt things or do things that we need to do to look out for our interests militarily and the interests of our allies. Now look at the Atlantic. Look at the East. That's exactly what Greenland is. And this could work out perfectly for everybody, as we've been telling you since the first day Donald Trump mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. Well, not the first day. He mentioned this back in his first term. But this is critically important. And the fact that the Prime Minister of Denmark said, hey, this is up to the Greenlanders to decide. Great, because that's news to the people of Greenland, since they've been under the thumb of the Danish government for so long. There is a move for independence in Greenland right now. They want the vote. They want to be able to decide. And I think that the Trump actions here are moving that conversation forward. The fact that the Prime Minister says it's all about what Greenlanders want, good. Then let's authorize the vote and let's move forward. And whatever Greenlanders decide should be what the government and the monarch of Denmark respects. And we're all for that, because I think they're going to decide to look to the West and not back to Europe. So we're talking about increased tariffs right now on our trade partners, tax cuts, regulation changes. I want you to learn why gold is a viable diversification tactic right now more than ever. Birch Gold, the only company I endorse, they're releasing, only gold company I endorse. Let me just be clear on that. They're releasing their ultimate guide for gold in the Trump era, and they've got a foreword written by the aforementioned Donald Trump Jr. To get your free copy, along with Birch Gold's free information kit on gold, just text my name, Larry, to 989898. The facts are the national debt continues to increase. Our interest payments on the national debt continue to increase. Gold is still your hedge against a weakened dollar, and Birch Gold is still the company I recommend to help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold. And that's not a penny out of your pocket to get that done. Text Larry to 989898. Get your free copy of the ultimate guide for gold in the Trump era. No obligation, only information. I love Birch Gold because they've got an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, thousands of happy customers. You can trust Birch Gold too. Text my name, Larry, 989898. Do it today.